Welcome to Module 25. In this module, I want to talk about something that's affecting all Amazon sellers. Let me take a sip here just before I get into this, just real quick. It's the Chinese seller. You know, about 40% of all sellers on Amazon are from China. And there's 4 major regions in China where most of these sellers are coming from. It's not all over China. There's the Shenzhen area, which is near Hong Kong. The Guangzhou area, which is where the Canton Fair is. It's kind of close to Shenzhen as well. And then up kind of in the middle of the country, the Ningbo area, where the Yiwu market is, and the Hangzhou area. Those 4 areas of China are major areas where a lot of the Chinese sellers that are selling on Amazon are based in. And like I said, it's about 40% of all sellers worldwide are coming out of these regions. And the thing you need to understand about the Chinese is they don't play by the same rules. The Chinese sellers are very aggressive. They're very cutthroat. It's a very different culture in China. One of the reasons is, there's 1.2 billion of them or whatever the number is, some crazy number like that. So it's super, super competitive. And the Chinese sellers are willing to do almost anything to make money on Amazon. It's not just in the Amazon.com. It's in almost all the Amazons worldwide. And they're in it to make a quick buck. They don't care about building a brand. They don't care about really selling their company. They're just in it to make much money as fast as they can and get out. And what they will do is manipulate the system like crazy to do this. And as a seller that's about to start selling on Amazon, you need to know what they're doing so that you can be aware of it. And what I teach you in the Freedom Ticket is how to avoid most of the areas that these guys go into. Most of the products that they're selling, the vast majority, are those under $20 items, those more commodity items, those things that you can buy for $1 or $2 and sell for $10 or $15 or $20. It's items that if something goes wrong because they don't play by the rules and Amazon suspends their account or shuts them down, they don't lose a lot of inventory, a lot of money. If they've got 500 units of something that cost $1 and something goes wrong with their account because they weren't playing by the rules and Amazon closes them down, then they don't care. But if they had 500 items that cost $10 each, they would actually care. So that's why I recommend, as a seller, you really stay away from these cheaper items because you're just introducing yourself to a lot of headaches and a lot of problems where they will do all kinds of crazy stuff to get ahead. They use a Vendor Central account. A Vendor Central account is an account that it has like godlike privileges on Amazon. You and I have a Seller Central account as a third-party seller, the way we're doing this through the Freedom Ticket. A Vendor Central account is an account that actually will get purchase orders. Amazon will issue purchase orders, and then you ship in the items, and then Amazon sells them, and then they pay you. Now, Amazon is going to be changing this to something probably called there's different names and stuff and different rumors of what's happening, but they're probably going to be changing that to more of a centralized account at some point. That may eliminate some of this, but right now these sellers use these Vendor Central accounts, and they can go in and they can change your listing. I don't know if you've ever been on Amazon and you've seen someone's selling a blender and all the reviews are for socks or something, and you're like, wait a second. Because what they will do is they'll go in, they'll find dead listings. They're called zombie listings. People that have sold products in the past and they generated a lot of reviews on these products, but that for whatever reason they ran out of stock or they quit selling it, but they never deleted it off Amazon. They'll go in and they know how to find these, take them over using a Vendor Central account, and then actually put their product in there, change all the pictures, change different things, and change enough of it to where most people don't read the reviews. They just look that this has 500 reviews and it's a 4.5 stars, and as long as they get on page 1, they get some of the reviews for their socks. It doesn't matter that the rest of them are for blenders. It's a problem. Now, Amazon is constantly fighting this, and they're doing things to change this, but it seems like it's pop a mole. They'll also do stuff where they'll merge listings, where they'll actually come in and they'll create 5 different listings of the same product, and then they'll do testing on 4 of them, and they're almost like burner listings, and then they'll merge them all into one and do all kinds of crazy stuff that way. And they'll also do what's called brushing, and brushing is where they will enter fake orders and they'll ship them to random people. And random people in the United States will get these items that they didn't order, or they'll send them to Amazon lockers or all this kind of stuff, and they'll use these to create fake orders and write their own reviews or to get sales rank or all kinds of things. These guys, they set up fake companies sometimes. They'll use databases in China, where they're official databases of companies in China, where they will go in and they will see that this company is not selling on Amazon. They'll use their information and set up an account on Amazon. When Amazon goes to check the account, everything verifies, but it's not actually legitimate. They set up fake buyer accounts. They will set up. Some guys have thousands and thousands of buyer accounts. These are the accounts like individual users, and they'll go in there and they'll make their own orders and make their own fake reviews, and all kinds of stuff. They'll use virtual credit cards from some of these banks. Will issue virtual credit cards so that you can get hundreds or thousands of credit cards that all tie to one account, and each credit card is different, so it looks like it's different individuals. And the thing is, the Chinese, because they're local and they speak the language, they often have a price advantage over us, so they can sometimes get a 15 to 20% discount over what we can get as Westerners or trying to sell something on Amazon. And they also freely share information in meetups. You'll notice in the US, people are a little bit tight-lipped. You ask somebody at a conference, what do you sell? And most people won't tell you. They may see the category, oh, I sell baby products. But you say, oh, what kind of baby products? They're not going to tell you I sell cribs for newborns. Because they're always afraid that someone's going to steal their idea. Versus in China, they have these big meetups. In the United States, we have conferences all over. The Helium 10 Elite does something every few months where they have a meetup in Irvine. You have big conferences like SellerCon and other ones that are around the United States, but there's probably 10 or 15 a year. I mean, you can go to a website. If you check down the links, there's a website link where you can actually see what all the different conferences are that you can go to in person. But in China, they do this every single week. Every single week, there's like thousands of people at these conferences, and they just freely share information. And a lot of this information, I was at one not too long ago that was all about reviews. And everything at this conference was about how to get reviews. And a lot of the ways that they were teaching were not within the terms of service of Amazon. So it's freely shared information. They also have some very sophisticated software tools, some special Chinese-only tools. They're kind of like Helium 10, but do some things in a little bit unorthodox way that are only in Chinese that they have access to. It's crazy what they're doing. There's also people on the inside of Amazon, and some of these people I've been told are at the highest level. Some people are like in the executive suite, and not just in China or India, but some in the United States as well, that are providing information, that inside information, reports. Amazon's constantly trying to knock this stuff down and constantly plugging holes, but these guys are able to find another way. And so they're able to get inside information through bribing people, and they can get the data on some of the other sellers or what keywords are working or what things are working, and they can use that to their advantage. They also have the SOPs. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures, like a document of like, here's the steps or here's how you're supposed to do something. And Amazon has these SOPs for all their technical staff and their customer service staff that says if someone has this kind of problem, here's how you solve the problem. It's like kind of like a uniform answer. And these guys have these SOPs, so they know the exact rules of where to stay under the line, where if they're going to write fake reviews, exactly where should they not cross the line. Wait 14 days for an account, and they know exactly what to do. So it's very, very difficult to stop this. And so you just need to be aware that this is happening on there, and it could be very, very frustrating for a new seller that spent a lot of time and money and launched his product, and all of a sudden he's got someone doing all kinds of crazy stuff to him. Amazon doesn't approve of this. They say they're monitoring this. They say that they've got this under control, but they absolutely don't. I've been in meetings with some of their high-level executives that had no clue what's happening, or they thought this was solved. But they're not down in the trenches doing this every day and seeing what's happening. And it's an unfortunate thing. It's messing with some people's livelihoods. It's screwing with a lot of people. And it's not just the Chinese. There's some bad actors in the United States and in Europe and other places too that are doing some of this stuff. But when there's this much money at stake and this much money that can be made, it does bring in some bad apples. So the best thing that you can do is to create a real company. Don't succumb to all the hacks and the little tricks. It's to create a real company. Use the tools like Helium 10. Try to play by the rules as much as you can to keep your account clean and to have no problems. If you do have a problem, there are companies that specialize, several ex-Amazon people, in fact, that specialize in helping you get your account back. But I I don't recommend you ever have that happen to you. But so by using some of what I'm showing you in the Freedom Ticket on how to do marketing, how to differentiate, how to look for certain products that are outside of this under $20 range, and that are not at the top of the pack. I mean, most of these problems are in products that have a BSR of under 1,000. Those are the top selling products. So if you're selling something as a BSR 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, that's not going to be a top seller on Amazon. It's going to be a middle of the pack, 5, 10, 15, 20 units a day. But you put together enough of those, it can be a lot better than having one of these high selling great products that you just every morning when you wake up, you're going to wonder, is it still there? Or is someone attacking me, writing negative reviews or fake reviews or trying to bring me down, or having my worst review upvoted and having 100 people upvote my worst review to the top. So just be aware that this stuff is happening. Amazon is trying to deal with it, and they're doing the best they can, but it's a big problem, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. I'm sure as Amazon closes one loophole, another one will pop up, and so that's why I recommend don't follow for all the little hacks and little shortcuts. Treat this like a real business, grow it like a real business, do it the proper way, and do it. Look for products a little bit outside of the range where most of these guys focus on, and you can have tremendous success on Amazon. So don't let this scare you, or don't let this be like, oh my God, I don't want to sell on Amazon. I'm not trying to say that at all. I still think the opportunity is great. It's tremendous. All I'm saying is you just need to be aware, fully aware of what's happening out there, and try to stay away from those areas. So with that in mind, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.